What's up? What's good, everybody? Hope everybody's doing absolutely fantastic, and welcome back to the channel. If you're wondering what that sweet, sweet sound coming into your pussy is, well, it's me. It's Hapa. And if you guys didn't know, apparently I support transphobia. I'm just kidding. Listen, guys, I don't hate anybody. Let me correct that. There are people I hate. Hate's a strong word, but let's be honest. We all hold it in our heart, and it's a sin. But hey, what do we got to do about it? We're all man. We're all flesh. We try to do good. Most of the time we do good, and that's all we can hope. As long as they don't force it on me or, our children. I just never understood that. Like, I'm mad at you because you do something in your life that makes you happy that has zero effect on me. Oh, and by the way, if you want to take the route to J.K. Rowling somehow financially profited from this game, she probably did, but I'm pretty sure game sales doesn't dictate how much or how little she got paid for this. If I had to guess, it was one set amount. And hey, who knows? I haven't done the research. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she made a buttload off of this game because of all the free advertising that it got. I mean, I'm going to be totally honest with you. They said Harry Potter game. I'm like, okay, cool, moving on. Until I saw all the pushback. And then I said, hey, I got to check this game out. I looked at it. I said, this looks like they took a little bit from a bunch of games I liked as a younger person. I mean, it looks like they took a little bit from Bully. They got a little Arkham in there. And, well, let's be honest. The audience, you guys, the ones that sit here and listen to my ridiculous takes, you asked me. You said, are you going to play this game? And I said, nah, I mean, it's free to play around here. I'm not rich. And, well, you guys bought it for me, so thank you. And thank you to all the snowflakes out there that decided to make me look into the game, because I probably wouldn't have spent the $70 to play it early had you have not turned me on to it. I said, if it's blowing liberal minds like this, it might actually be fun. And wouldn't you know, it's actually a halfway decent game. I mean, we started off running it in 1440. I mean, other than when you get out into the open world and you get a little bit of stutters, other than that, I was able to run the game at 1440, 165 frames on ultra settings with ray tracing. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's been a long time since I played a game with the storyline and the amount of cutscenes that this game has. And I mean, to be honest with you, coming from the BR genre, the Warzones, the Apexes, the Fortnites, it's a nice change of pace. It's like a happy medium between watching a movie and playing a video game. And I mean, it's got everything you want. It's got really deep, rich character customization. I spent, 4 hours playing it on stream last night, and we only made it, 2 levels out of the tutorial? It's that deep. And to be honest with you guys, I mean, like, I get that there's a certain, group of people out there, the cancel culture vultures that are extremely upset for, what I can now say is no reason at all, because I played the game. I mean, yeah, look, there was one T person in the game. It happened to be a barkeep, but they sounded like he, but apparently it's, all things considered, respectful pronoun is they, I think. Not sure. Doesn't pop up and tell me the pronoun. So we're just going to go with they. They, the T person, that is, happened to be quite the hero. Protecting, us, the main character, from an evil troll. Wait, maybe there's some messaging in that. Anyways, other than that little instance, the game is definitely something I'd say, feel free to buy it for your children. I mean, I don't know if kids are Harry Potter fans like they were back when I was growing up. Although I was right on the cusp, you know what I'm saying? I was like in the teenage years when the Harry Potter come out. But I was quite a nerdy teenager, so, I still watched Toy Story and stuff. It fell right into my lane of interest and things of that nature. But my question is, can anybody on that, let's be honest, it's the left. I'm gonna generalize it. We're gonna call it the left. But can anybody on the left give me an example of where your outrage has benefited you? I mean, how many times do you guys gotta go through this, getting outraged about a game? That way everybody on the right and the majority of people that are sitting on the fence decide to open their eyes to something that they would have not necessarily opened their eyes to, and essentially at the end of the day basically becoming a free advertising arm of the thing that you seem to be so outraged about. And I get it. You're just sticking up for people's freedom to be and do whatever they please, except for people that do and say and try to be things that, don't line up with your mental delusions. But we're getting a little bit sidetracked here. Listen, the reason I made this video today is to answer the question a lot of people may have had that didn't end up in somebody's stream that's playing the game. Is the game worth it, or is it just a bunch of hoopla that's promoting a mediocre game? And, well, should you spend the $60 to $80 to try it? And my answer to that is maybe. I don't know. It depends on what you're into, man. It does have a rather Harry Potter-esque old school feel to it. I mean, if you're really into the lore of Harry Potter, this is definitely a must-have for you. But if you're just looking for a change of pace, maybe something outside the FPS genre, then yeah, it is absolutely worth the try to play. I mean, if I had to give everything a score, the gameplay's right up there. I'm gonna give the gameplay a 9. It could be a 10, it could be an 8. I don't know. I've only played through about 5 hours of it, but I'm giving it a 9 because within the 4 to 5 hours that I've played through it, I can definitely tell you it's a very story-rich, very deep game. There's a lot to do. This isn't one of them games where you're gonna play for 36 hours and you're done with it. In fact, from what I understand, you can play playthrough, all different 4 houses with different side quests, different storylines, and depending on how you choose your responses to the NPCs within the game, whether you decide to be helpful, nice, or whether you choose to take the dickhead option, which is definitely available for almost every other interaction, you may get a completely different ending than you got the first playthrough. So gameplay's at a 9. Graphics, I'm going to go with a 9.5. They work out the stuttering issue when I'm using ray tracing at very high specs, then I'm going to bump that up to a 10. It's an absolutely visually stunning game. And if you don't believe me, you're more than welcome to tune into my stream. But if I really had to, overall score this game, I'm going to give it an 8.5. That's where we're at right now. It's worth the money in my opinion. But like I said, if you're still on the fence, come on over to the stream, ask me any questions you need to ask. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I know this was a short video, but the point that I'm trying to make here is simply, now one person listening to this rant of mine can tell me that, well, the gaming industry isn't a little bit left-leaning, at least on the developer side of things. And I think more and more people, no matter what side of the spectrum you're on, realize that these games, more times than not, tend to have a very heavily embedded narrative throughout the content that we're trying to consume as entertainment. And when you do such a thing like heavily embedding a narrative or a political theme into your video game, it becomes extremely hard to enjoy it, which at the end of the day is what video games are supposed to be, an escape from reality. At least that's what most of us use them for. I know some of the COD kids use it as a valuation on their worth as a human being, their skill within that video game. But some of us grew up in the heyday of video games where simply enjoyment was the key determining factor on whether we, the player, determined something good, not so good, or dog shit. And while I'm pretty sure if we looked hard enough, we could see some sort of embedded narrative in this game, it's not being forced down my throat. At least I haven't got that far into the game to feel it yet, if it's there. And for the first time in a long time, I actually played 5 hours of a video game, woke up the next day, and had the want to play it again. I can't say that every time I picked up COD, I feel the same way. I can't say that every time I picked up Apex, I feel the same way. I can't say that about Fortnite. I can't say that about PUBG. I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm not here telling you guys, hey, you guys gotta get this game. It's amazing. It's the best video game ever. I'm simply trying to point out that the leftist rage on Twitter became free advertising for this game and prompted people like me to open my eyes to it and spend the $76 that I wouldn't have spent had I not seen this project surrounded by so much outrage. And now that I've played it, I can 1000% tell you it's more false virtue signaling outrage bullshit. But if you guys are going to false virtue signal your outrage towards anything, keep doing it for games like this, because I had a lot of fun playing this game. And if that makes me a bigot or a homophobe, okay, whatever. It's like your opinion, man. And this one's mine. And if you guys enjoyed my opinion on Hogwarts Legacy or want to check it out even further before you buy it, like I said, I'm going to be live streaming it today right here on YouTube. So definitely, you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, notification bells on so YouTube doesn't let you miss when I upload another video or when I go live. If you guys enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor, smash the like button. And who knows, guys, maybe this is a shifting of the tides when it comes from, like BRs being all the rage to games that are more supported by storyline, character customization, and, things that aren't PvP related. Regardless of the fact that I think if they added like a PvP mode to Hogwarts Legacy, it would be absolutely fantastic. But the point that I'm trying to make was probably said better by Joan Halifax when she said, compassion has enemies, and those enemies are things like pity, moral outrage, and fear. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Hold up, buddy, what is you doing? Finna go hard, hard, hard. Ice on my neck, ice on my wrist. That for the squad. Know they gon' hate, do what I tell them. Get on your jaw. Work on smooth, I got the moves, I swear to God. Hey, I just dropped 200 on a new